From all the studies of how people spend their time, the main thing that we've learned is that most people spend less time than they would like on their higher priority activities and more time on their lower priority activities. So managers aren't managing as much as they'd like, salespeople aren't selling as much as they'd like, and everybody is spending more time than they would like on administrative tasks. The most important thing a consultant can do to improve their time usage is to delegate. That is, not doing the things that aren't part of their core responsibilities. If you're really good at being an accountant, great, do that, but delegate everything else. The other thing that they can do is to automate. Use technology for automating repetitive tasks. If you're writing a report the same way every time, just keep automating that. And then the last thing you can do is to build systems or methodologies, so they may or may not be automated, but have the same approach to solving a problem or to doing a client engagement each time. Okay, I start with this step, and I take you through that step, then we finish up with this step. It always looks the same. If you can do those three things, you can start to become more efficient. People are always concerned about external factors that affect their productivity. As much as you can find a way to deal with those or not have to deal with them, then your productivity can increase. We think that many things are outside of our control, but many things are within our control. So things like not being focused, not determining what you're supposed to be doing. Certainly procrastination comes up with just about everybody. Like for any consultant, billable time is what you want to be doing a lot of, but there's going to be a lot of other time. Travel can be 10 or 15% of your time. Personal time, administration can be 20 to 25% of your time. And of course, planning that you want to be doing can be 10 or 15%. So you add all those up, and there may not be that much time left for the actual billable time that you want to be doing. Successful consultants need to be selling as much as those who are just starting out in their career. You're probably going to be spending in the range of about 20% of your time selling and marketing. We looked at how much billable time successful consultants spend. So the best consultants seem to be spending about 20 hours per week on client service activities, most of which is billable. 20 hours, maybe out of a 50-hour week, is only about 40% of your time. Successful consultants may be up and around 20 hours per week in terms of service and billable time. The average is actually only about 13 hours per week. And the reason I believe that everybody can find about an extra hour per day, and that hour is there because it's time you're spending that you could be delegating, or it's time that you're spending that you haven't automated, you haven't built a system. It's easy to find. Somewhere in the range of 200 hours per year is probably available to most consultants. Typically, from our time quarter studies, we found employees work about 47 hours per week. Consultants are well above that. They're up in the 52-hour range, and some work even higher. But we found when you think about planning your goals, the SMART formula is a great way to articulate what your goals should be. Now, other people use this formula. I've modified it a little bit. So SMART, S stands for specific, substantial, and select. The M is for measurable. A is appropriate. Make sure your goal is appropriate to others' goals and to your own skills and background. R is realistic. Your goal should be a stretch, but have some degree of realism. And T is timely. Put a date on when you want to accomplish your goal. If you can articulate your goals using that formula, then you're well on your way to success. One of the biggest issues in time management is procrastination. Everybody but everybody is putting stuff off. I run a little module in my time management seminars where we linked people up, and that seemed to work. So I've taken that and turned it into a website. The website is called buddyhive.com, and what it does is it inspires people to get stuff done. And it does that by linking people up with random buddies across the internet and making them accountable to each other to achieve small tasks within about a week time. We've seen people getting their taxes done. Somebody had to bake a cake. Somebody got a major presentation done. Somebody got a new design for a website completed. So all kinds of business and personal tasks that people have been putting off, they're now getting done because they've got someone to be accountable to.